Well, hello there and welcome back, badasses. Welcome to the No More Excuses podcast, where I help you ditch the alibis, embrace the grind, and build the lives and businesses we deserve, you deserve, we all deserve, right? I am Sandi, the badass business coach, and today I want to talk about closing out the year like the champions, the badasses that we are. This isn't just about counting down to December 31st. It's about building, rebuilding, building upon, and strengthening, what we have, right? Because if we want a better tomorrow, the work starts today. So are you ready to finish the year strong? I mean, hell yes. Say it out loud wherever you are. Hell yes, I am. All right, so let's dive in. But first, if you're new here or if you have never contacted me or reached out, I'd love to hear where you're listening from. City, country, state, where are you? Direct message me on any of the social medias, or you can email me, Sandi with an I at sandyballard.com. All right, because I love it. Love hearing from wherever you are. And feel free to let me know also if there's a topic or a challenge you're having that you want me to discuss as well. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this. We got to really finish the year strong and, just seeing where we are now. So then next year we can really just be ready to jump in and do this. But first, let's talk about building. Oh, yes. Let's talk about creating something new, whether it's launching a product, a service, starting a passion project, or diving into a whole new venture. You don't need the perfect time to start. You just need a starting point, right? You're never going to get there if you don't take that step. I know it's scary, uncomfortable. Being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart, but it's going to be fun. All right, I guarantee that. So if you've been holding back because you think you're not ready, let me remind you, no one feels ready at the beginning. I've had so many friends and family members, colleagues, whatever, over the years say, I want to start a business when I have enough money or the time. I want to have a baby when I have enough money or the time or my life is perfect. There's no perfect time, right? Take the first step. By the end of the year, you have the foundation for something incredible, or at least the momentum and the plan to get ready and start in January. Okay. So, actionable tip, set a micro goal, a little baby goal. What can you do this month in the next 30 days? A website, business plan, which you should have before you have your website, a morning routine. I just had a client uh, email me with her new routine that she's going to practice for this month. I love it. So it's pretty much the same almost every day, depending on what's going on in her schedule with her work. But that is going to be great to see by the next end of this month how she's done and how it's helped her. You got to build something that you can be proud of. By the time the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve, you want to be ready, don't you? You want to be proud of what you've built, right? So now let's talk about rebuilding. Rebuilding, this one hits close to home for so many of us. Maybe this year didn't go as planned. Maybe you had setbacks. I have. Maybe those setbacks left you feeling like your business or life is in pieces and it's scattered everywhere. But let me tell you, there's power in picking up those pieces and starting again. I've had 6 surgeries in 2 years. So all like last year, they were September to December. And this year, one in February with knee surgery. And then both of my knees were replaced September and November. So it's just like the end of the year for the last 2 years has been setbacks, personal setbacks, but they affected my business because I wasn't able to get out and about and do what I normally do to build my business, to market my business. So it happens. It happens to me, and I'm the badass business coach. So, it's okay if shit happens. It's like I said, you got to get up there, and rebuilding isn't a failure. It's a strategy. It's about recognizing what happened, accepting it, what didn't work, learning the lessons, and use it to create something even better. I'm rebuilding my body and a little bit of my business, just because I kept my business status quo because of the healing process I've been going through. So don't let that fear of starting over, or just feeling like you didn't grow, or didn't, you just sort of plateaued. Don't let that hold that over on you. You got to let it grow. Wad it up, let it go. Where are you now, and where do you want to go? So let's rebuild it. Let's, and you gotta look at, what do you need to rebuild before the end of the year? A broken process, body, your mind, your soul, all that, a neglected relationship, confidence. Rebuilding is where the resilience is born. Okay. Remember that. Now, this is also some of what I'm doing as well, building upon. Sometimes we don't need to start from scratch. Sometimes we're not rebuilding. We just need to build upon what's already working, what's already there, the successes you've had. Think about the progress you've made this year, even if it doesn't feel like much. Maybe small little baby steps, small wins are still wins, right? So even though I've had all this shit happen, I'm building upon where I am, but I also have gotten some new clients in all of this chaos, right? So, that's a win for me. And I'm looking at how I can do more of that next year. So what can you build on, build on right now? Is it a skill you've developed, a habit you've formed? I love habits. A client relationship that's showing promise. All right. Building upon is about scaling and growing what's already good in your life, what's already working. It's where your momentum becomes mastery. Think about that. So, challenge, make a list of your top 3 wins this year, big or small. Then ask yourself, how can I double down on these in the next 30 days? Sometimes the answers are closer than what you think. So, what are 3 wins you've had? A lot of times we focus on what we haven't been able to do, or didn't get to do. I mean, personally, I can focus on all those things where I haven't been able to run, work out at the level I'd like to work out at, hike. My God, I bought new hiking shoes last year and I haven't been able to freaking put them on. They still have the dust on them. They're from sitting in the closet, the tags on them. So I could focus on that, or just focus on the fact that next year I got 2 new knees. I'm going to be able to hike, probably not run, but get back to the workout level that I've been on. So I'm going to be where I am. So like rebuilding the muscles that I have to, from the atrophy, from the surgeries, and then build upon where I am. And then take that into my business and say, okay, this is what happened this year. These are my successes, getting a new client, during all these surgeries, and having those team building workshops and coaching sessions, and then build upon that relationship with them and with others, right? All right. And then, yes, I just talked about this a little bit, strengthening. So finally, let's talk about it, because what's the point of building if it's not to build something to last? It's got to be built to last. And we all go through some things where it's sort of like status quo. Have you ever asked someone how they're doing or what's going on, and they're just fine where they are? And that's going to be okay for a while. Kind of like learning. If you stop learning, you start growing. If you stop learning, you stop growing. If you stop strengthening, things are going to whittle away, right? So it's about solidifying your foundation. No matter what comes your way in the new year, you'll be ready for it. And this could mean shoring up your finances, committing to self-care, which I preach about all the time as well, or tightening up your systems. Strengthening isn't flashy. Strength isn't flashy, but it's what keeps you standing when shit goes sideways. Right? So, motivational moment. Think of it this way: stronger today means unstoppable tomorrow, more badass than you are today. So where can you reinforce what you've already built? Lots of things we've covered today. Building, rebuilding, building upon, strengthening. It's all connected. And it's not about doing just one. It's about embracing them all as part of the journey to finish this year with purpose and momentum. You don't need to wait for January 1st to start fresh. The time is to act is now. One step, one action, one commitment. And that's all it takes to end the year stronger and more badass than ever. Let's make it happen. There's no more excuses. We don't just dream, we do it, right? Get off your ass and do something today in this month that your future self will thank you for, right? So watch social media this week. I will break all of this down. I will remind you of these challenges. The biggest one is writing down and writing it down so you can look at it, not just thinking about, oh, I did this, this, and this. No, write it down and keep it in front of you. Hang it on the wall, make it your screensaver. Do something to keep it in front of you so you can say, you know what? I was a badass this year. I did do these 3 things. And again, I just did a year-end review with a client, and it was just kind of like, oh, all in a day's work. It's like, no, but look at what you freaking did. All right. So getting through that, that's going to be the biggest shift you have. All right. So let's make it happen. No more excuses. Until next time, keep building your dreams. Remember, no more excuses, because excuses don't build empires. You do. All right. Let's be the badasses we are meant to be. Cheers.